Welcome back to the podcast. Today I'm writing this actually from the beach, and I'm sitting here listening to the waves. I realize how much transition is actually happening all around me. This week I'm going to be celebrating my granddaughter graduating from college. My little grandson is graduating from kindergarten. We're getting together with the family. Some of us haven't seen each other in 2 years. I know, I don't even know how that happened. Father's Day is almost here. And on top of that, we're approaching the summer solstice, the longest and brightest day of the year. Maybe that's why I found myself reflecting a little bit more than usual. I'm not sure. Not because I've got all the answers. It's actually quite the opposite today. I'm kind of finding myself in that space between what has been and what is next. And I've got a feeling that I'm not the only one. 6 months ago, the new year started, the calendar new year started in January, and many people set goals. My clients and I set standards for the year, just talked about what we thought we wanted to see happen this year and the changes that we might be making to make that happen and to allow that to happen, to line up with it. Now we're standing at a halfway point. And before we rush into the second half of the year with all this gung-ho summer energy, I don't know, but I've just been really called to sit with it this week. And I need a small pause, maybe a stop. This is going to allow me to really think through what is going on. So the solstice is often celebrated as the peak of light, and it was interesting because just last week, Max and I were talking about how everything is in cycles, literally everything. There's your solar return cycle from where you were born. The sun has cycles, seasonal cycles. The moon has cycles. Plants have cycles. Before every season shifts, there's actually a pause. Before harvest, there's a change. Before the change, there's always the next chapter that's coming. So is that where many of us are right now? I mean, we're in the middle of Father's Day on top of it, and I'm thinking a lot about masculine energy, because masculine energy is not about gender to me. It's about the energy that builds, the energy that protects, the energy that provides structure, kind of creates safety, takes action. Every one of us carries masculine and feminine energies. So where has healthy masculine energy supported me this year? I had to give it some thought. And where have I needed more structure? I had a good conversation with Zach about the need for structure as well as the need for flow. And I've been thinking about it more since that conversation. Where have I needed stronger boundaries? The past 6 months, I definitely set some of those myself. And then I think about what foundation really helped me get to where I am. Across cultures and throughout history, humans have always marked transitions. And we've talked about honoring those in the podcast. So they've marked graduations, births, deaths, marriages, solstices, not because the calendar changed, but because we needed a moment to just take a beat and recognize who we were before and who we're actually becoming. So whether you follow astrology or not, there's something really powerful about paying attention to cycles and the cycles in nature. The question is not whether the cycles exist. The question is more, are we noticing them? And are we noticing how they affect us? Neuroscience tells us that brains always like to predict. Your brain is always scanning what's next, like what's coming, what's changing, what's safe, what can I count on? It's never quiet up there. And during periods of transition, those predictions become a little less reliable. That's why life's transition can feel exciting and uncomfortable at the same time. A graduation, a move, a new job, a new relationship, a new chapter, even positive change asks our brains to adapt. Here's what I found really interesting. research shows that reflection actually helps us to integrate experience into wisdom. Not just experience and then life, experience, reflection, wisdom. Because experience alone does not teach us nearly as much as experience examined. And that's where the summer solstice invites us to do this. Just pause long enough and ask yourself, what's grown? What surprised me? What challenged me? What have I learned? What am I carrying that no longer belongs in the next season? This week also is going to bring Father's Day, and I want to take a moment to honor the masculine energy that exists in all of our lives. Not masculinity as a stereotype, but masculine as a structure, protection, direction, commitment, boundaries, the energy that says, I'm going to build something that lasts. Some of us receive this from fathers, from husbands, from grandfathers, from mentors, from teachers, from coaches. Some of us get it from friends. And some of us actually learned these lessons through their absence. However it arrived. That's another chapter. That's another episode. Many of us are standing on foundations who were started by someone who came before us. And I'm sitting here, and especially this time of year, because my dad actually died right the day after Father's Day a few years ago, I guess 7 years ago now, I don't know. But as I'm watching one of my grandchildren graduate from college and another graduate from kindergarten, I'm just so touched because I can just feel how real these moments are. Life is about stewardship. What are we passing forward? I've just been thinking, are we teaching through my example? What legacy am I creating, or even thinking about it? This is why I ended up at the beach, because the ocean really helps me to see how small I am in this vast horizon that I'm looking at. And it reminds me of life, because every single wave looks different, yet the water remains. Every season changes, yet something deeper within us all continues. And maybe that's the invitation of the moment. Not to figure out the entire second half of the year, not to force clarity, not to have a perfect plan right now, but just to take inventory a little bit. Just to acknowledge how far you've come. Maybe take a moment and honor those who helped you get here. Celebrate what's growing in your life. And take a moment to trust that what comes next is actually going to reveal itself in time. So whether you follow moon cycles, pay attention to seasons, or just notice the rhythm of your own life, there's a wisdom in recognizing that growth happens in cycles. There are seasons for action. There are seasons for reflection, times for building, seasons for receiving. Perhaps this week is one of those moments. I'm feeling it all at once. This was not the episode that I planned on recording today. I was just so overwhelmed with so many different feelings, and I thought, you know what? This is the episode that I need to be recording today. Maybe this week is one of those times where we've got a chance to pause. Just take a moment to breathe, a chance to notice. And as we move towards, and we'll probably be producing this one on the longest day of the year, my invitation to you is simple. Take a little inventory. What's grown? What's changed? What surprised you? What are you grateful for? What are you ready to bring into the light? What's trying to emerge? What's trying to come through you right now? So until next time, listen to your own wisdom, trust the unfolding, and remember that every meaningful transition begins with an awareness. The pause isn't meant to leave you sitting in uncertainty. It's meant to help you recognize that uncertainty is often where possibility is born. And as I'm sitting here watching the ocean, I'm reminded that possibility arrives rarely looking exactly the way we expected it to. Most of the defining moments in my life didn't begin with certainty. They actually begin with a pull, with a feeling, with a whisper, sometimes with curiosity or a little nudge, a tug towards something that I couldn't fully explain. And if there's one thing I've learned, it's this: life can change faster than we think. The relationship we haven't met yet, the opportunity we can't see yet, the healing we haven't experienced yet, the business that hasn't taken off yet, the dream we almost talked ourselves out of. It's all living somewhere in the field of possibility. Everything you've ever wanted is living in that field of possibility. Neuroscience tells us that our brain tends to focus on evidence from the past when predicting the future. But possibility asks a different question. I am all about possibility. What if the future doesn't have to look like my past? What if there's more available to us than our current circumstances actually suggest? And what if all this struggling today is preparing us for something we can't even imagine? I believe that hope is not wishful thinking. Hope is a willingness to remain open, to stay curious, to trust that life may have surprises still in store for us, better than we ever thought could be. And if you're listening today feeling stuck or uncertain or just calm and not motivated or tired, I want to remind you of something. Move your fingers. What a miracle is that you have a thought and you can do that. Look in the mirror. You are living proof that impossible things happen, miracles happen. The odds of your existence are absolutely extraordinary. The fact that you're here is miraculous. And if life can accomplish that, think of all the possibilities unfolding that you can't yet see. So as we move into this season of light, I wouldn't just ask what needs illumination. I would also ask what's trying to come through me, what's trying to grow, and what possibility is just quietly waiting for my attention. Because sometimes the greatest transformation begins not when we have an answer, or worse than that, force an answer, but when we become available to the new question. As we move into the second half of the year, may you honor what has brought you here. May you celebrate how far you've come. May you thank the people who helped shape your journey. And may you remain open to all the possibilities that are still on their way, because your story is just beginning. There's always more possibility available than we can currently see. Thank you so much for joining me. Please download and share this episode if you think it might benefit anyone. And just count me in.